Let me tell you something that most people discover too late in life. There comes a moment when you realize that nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to wake up every morning and fight your battles for you. Nobody is going to build your discipline for you. Nobody is going to carry your dreams on their shoulders and walk the road that only you were born to walk. And that moment, that painful, uncomfortable moment, is the beginning of your transformation. Because the greatest growth in life does not happen when everyone is cheering for you. It does not happen when the road is easy. It does not happen when people understand your vision. The greatest growth happens in silence. It happens when you are alone with your thoughts. When you have doubts, but still move forward. When you have no applause, no recognition, no guarantee of success, but you continue because something inside you says, I was created for more. Walk alone. Build yourself, because the person who learns to stand alone becomes the person who cannot be easily broken. Think about this for a moment. A tree does not become strong because it grows in a comfortable environment. A tree becomes strong because it faces storms. It faces harsh winds. It faces seasons where nobody protects it. But every storm forces its roots deeper into the ground. And human beings are the same. The challenges you face are not just obstacles. They are opportunities to build roots. The lonely nights, the failures, the disappointments, the moments when people leave, the moments when nobody believes in you. These are the moments that shape the person you are becoming. I learned something years ago. Your life changes when you stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this trying to teach me? Because every difficulty carries a lesson. Every struggle carries a message. Every painful experience has the potential to become a powerful foundation. But most people never discover their strength because they run away from discomfort. They run toward comfort. They run toward approval. They run toward the easy path. And then they wonder why they never become extraordinary. Here's what most people don't understand. Comfort is one of the greatest enemies of growth. Comfort whispers, stay where you are. Comfort says, you are fine. You don't need to change. Comfort tells you, wait until tomorrow. And tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes next year. And one day you look back and realize you spent years protecting yourself from the very challenges that could have built you. The person you want to become is waiting on the other side of your discipline. Not your motivation, not your temporary excitement, your discipline. Because motivation comes and goes. Some mornings you will wake up inspired. Some mornings you will wake up tired. Some mornings you will question everything. But discipline says, I made a commitment and I will honor it. Discipline is keeping promises to yourself. And every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build confidence. Every time you break a promise to yourself, you weaken trust in your own ability. Your relationship with yourself is the most important relationship you will ever have. Because you can have money and still feel empty. You can have followers and still feel alone. You can have success in the eyes of the world and still know deep inside that you abandoned yourself along the way. The first person you have to become loyal to is yourself, your future self, the person you are creating every single day. Imagine meeting yourself 5 years from now. Imagine standing face to face with the person you could become. What would that person say to you? Would they thank you for the sacrifices you made? Would they thank you for waking up when you did not feel like waking up? Would they thank you for learning, improving, and refusing to quit? Or would they ask you why you wasted your potential? That question is powerful because every decision you make today is a conversation with your future. The habits you create today become the life you experience tomorrow. People think success happens in one dramatic moment. They think one opportunity changes everything. One phone call, one lucky break, one perfect moment. But success rarely works that way. Success is usually invisible. It is built in small moments nobody sees. It is the extra hour of learning when nobody is watching. It is the workout you complete when nobody is encouraging you. It is the money you save when nobody knows. It is the decision to improve yourself when everyone else is distracted. Small choices create big results. That is the power of the compound effect. A 1-degree change in direction may not look impressive today, but after years, it creates an entirely different destination. A person who improves 1% every day becomes unrecognizable over time. Not because of one massive action, because of thousands of small actions repeated consistently. Let me tell you about something important. Your life is not changed by what you do once in a while. Your life is changed by what you do consistently. Your routine is your future in disguise. Look at your daily habits, and you will see the direction of your life. Your habits are votes. Every morning you vote for the person you are becoming. Every choice is a vote. Every action is a vote. Every sacrifice is a vote. And eventually, those votes create your identity. You do not become disciplined by waiting until you feel disciplined. You become disciplined by practicing discipline. You do not become confident by waiting until you feel confident. You become confident by doing difficult things and proving to yourself that you can handle them. Confidence is not something you find. Confidence is something you build. And the foundation of confidence is evidence. Evidence that you can trust yourself. Evidence that you can overcome challenges. Evidence that you can keep moving when life becomes difficult. Many people are searching for confidence, but they avoid the very situations that create it. They want the reward without the process. They want strength without struggle. They want success without sacrifice. But life does not work that way. The person who wants the mountain must accept the climb. The person who wants greatness must accept the responsibility that comes with greatness. Because becoming better is not always comfortable. Growth demands that you leave behind old versions of yourself. Sometimes the hardest person you have to say goodbye to is the person you used to be. The person who made excuses. The person who blamed circumstances. The person who waited for permission. The person who needed everyone's approval before taking action. You have to be willing to outgrow yourself because your old identity cannot create your new reality. A seed must break open before it becomes a tree. A butterfly must leave the safety of the cocoon before it can fly. And sometimes your transformation requires breaking away from the comfort of who you have been. This is why walking alone is powerful. Not because you hate people, not because you reject the world, but because there are seasons in life where you need quiet. You need space to think. You need time to rebuild. You need moments where you stop listening to everyone else and finally hear your own voice. The world is full of noise. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone has advice. Everyone has something to say about what you should do. But very few people are willing to walk your journey. Very few people understand your vision. Very few people feel the fire inside your heart. So you must learn to trust your own commitment. There was a time when many successful people were misunderstood. People laughed at their dreams. People questioned their choices. People told them they were wasting their time, but they continued. Not because they had proof, because they had belief. They understood something important. The world often sees the result before it respects the process. People celebrate the person standing on the stage, but they do not see the years spent practicing in silence. They see the success, but they do not see the sacrifice. They see the victory, but they do not see the battles. Every successful person has a hidden story, a story of rejection, a story of failure, a story of moments when quitting seemed easier, but they made a decision that changed everything. They decided that temporary pain was better than permanent regret. Think about this for a moment. Pain is temporary. Regret can last a lifetime. The pain of discipline hurts today. The pain of sacrifice hurts today. The pain of saying no to distractions hurts today. But imagine the pain of looking back years from now and realizing you never tried. Imagine knowing you had potential but never developed it. Imagine knowing you had dreams but never chased them. That pain is heavier because failure teaches you, but regret haunts you. Failure says you attempted. Regret says you never gave yourself a chance. So choose your pain wisely. Choose the pain that builds you. Choose the pain that strengthens you. Choose the pain that creates a better version of yourself, because life will always have pain. The question is not whether you will experience pain. The question is whether your pain will have purpose. Will your pain break you, or will your pain build you? Will your struggles become excuses, or will they become fuel? The difference is your mindset. Two people can experience the same difficulty and create completely different futures. One person sees a wall. Another person sees a challenge. One person says, why me? Another person says, what can I learn from this? The event is not always what controls your life. Your interpretation of the event controls your life. Your mindset creates your meaning, and your meaning creates your actions. A person with the right mindset can walk through storms and still carry hope. A person with the wrong mindset can stand in sunshine and still see darkness. You must train your mind, because an untrained mind will always choose comfort. An untrained mind will always search for excuses. An untrained mind will always run from difficulty. But a trained mind understands that difficulty is where power is created. Your mind is like a muscle. Whatever you exercise becomes stronger. If you practice fear, fear becomes stronger. If you practice doubt, doubt becomes stronger. If you practice courage, courage becomes stronger. If you practice discipline, discipline becomes stronger. Every day you are training something. The question is, what are you training? Are you training yourself to quit? Or are you training yourself to continue? Are you training yourself to complain? Or are you training yourself to create solutions? Are you training yourself to depend on others? Or are you training yourself to become capable? Because one of the greatest freedoms in life is becoming someone you can depend on. Someone who does not collapse when things become difficult. Someone who does not need constant validation. Someone who can stand in the middle of uncertainty and say, I will figure this out. That person is built. That person is created through challenges. That person is created through countless moments of choosing growth over comfort. And every morning, when you decide to become stronger than you were yesterday, every time you choose learning instead of distraction, every time you choose discipline instead of excuses, you are quietly building the person who will one day look back and realize that the lonely road was never punishment. Was preparation, it was preparation. Because the lonely road does something that comfort never can. It introduces you to yourself. And that is one of the greatest discoveries a human being can make. To truly know yourself. To understand what you are capable of. To discover the strength that was hidden beneath years of excuses, fear, and hesitation. Because many people spend their entire lives surrounded by people, surrounded by noise, surrounded by distractions. But they never truly meet themselves. They never sit quietly enough to ask the deepest questions. Who am I becoming? What am I building? What am I willing to sacrifice? What kind of person do I want to be when nobody is watching? And those questions are powerful because your answers determine your direction. Your life does not accidentally become extraordinary. Extraordinary lives are built by ordinary people who make extraordinary decisions repeatedly. A person does not wake up one morning and suddenly become disciplined. A person becomes disciplined one decision at a time, one morning at a time, one promise at a time, one difficult choice at a time. The person you admire today was once someone who had to fight the same battles you are fighting. They had moments of weakness. They had moments of fear. They had moments where they wanted to stop. But they developed something that changed everything. They developed the ability to continue. And continuation is a superpower because most people do not fail because they lack talent. Most people fail because they stop too soon. They quit during the chapter where the story was about to change. Think about a farmer. A farmer does not plant a seed today and dig it up tomorrow because he does not see a tree. He understands something about nature. Growth takes time. There is a season for planting. There is a season for watering. There is a season where nothing appears to be happening above the ground, but beneath the surface, something is happening. Roots are forming. Strength is developing. Preparation is taking place. Your life works the same way. There are seasons where you feel like nothing is changing. You are working, you are learning, you are improving, but you cannot see the results yet. And this is where most people make their biggest mistake. They confuse invisible progress with no progress. They say, nothing is happening, but something is happening. You are becoming, you are developing. You are building the foundation. The problem is that people love the harvest, but they hate the planting season. They want the success story, but they do not want the silent years. They want the victory, but they do not want the preparation. They want the confidence, but they do not want the uncomfortable experiences that create confidence. But there is no shortcut around becoming. You cannot pretend your way into greatness. You cannot fake discipline. You cannot borrow someone else's mindset. You have to build it yourself. And that is why the journey is personal. Nobody can lift weights for you and give you strength. Nobody can study for you and give you knowledge. Nobody can practice for you and give you mastery. Someone can inspire you. Someone can guide you. Someone can teach you, but nobody can become you. That responsibility belongs to you. And that responsibility is not a burden. It is a gift. Because if your future depends on your actions, then you have power. You have influence over the direction of your life. You are not just watching your life happen. You are participating in creating it. Let me tell you something. The moment you accept complete responsibility for yourself is the moment your life begins to change. Because responsibility gives you control. Blaming gives your power away. When you blame your past, you give your past control over your future. When you blame other people, you allow other people to decide your emotional state. When you blame circumstances, you convince yourself that you are powerless. But the person who says, my life is my responsibility, becomes dangerous in the best possible way because now they are no longer waiting. They are building. They are learning. They are adapting. They are becoming. A person with responsibility does not ask, who can save me? They ask, what can I do? What skill can I develop? What habit can I improve? What weakness can I overcome? What action can I take today? That question separates creators from victims. And understand this. Taking responsibility does not mean life will suddenly become easy. Storms will still come. Challenges will still appear. People will still disappoint you. Plans will still fail. But something changes inside you. You become stronger than the circumstances around you. You stop being controlled by every situation. You become the person who controls your response. And your response determines your future. Two people can lose the same opportunity. One person says, my life is over. Another person says, this is forcing me to create a better opportunity. Two people can experience rejection. One person breaks. Another person builds. The difference is not always the situation. The difference is the meaning they attach to the situation. A powerful mind does not waste pain. A powerful mind transforms pain into wisdom. Every rejection becomes a lesson. Every failure becomes information. Every mistake becomes a teacher. Every struggle becomes training. you begin to understand that life is not happening against you. Life is happening through you. It is shaping you. It is challenging you. It is preparing you for responsibilities you cannot carry with your current level of character. Because success is not just about getting more. Success is about becoming more disciplined, more patient, more focused, more courageous, more valuable. Many people chase success, but avoid personal growth. They want a bigger life with the same mindset. They want different results with the same habits. They want a better future while protecting their old identity. But the future requires a different version of you. The person who achieves your dream life cannot be the same person who created your current limitations. You have to upgrade yourself, your thinking, your standards, your habits, your environment, your daily actions, because your life is a reflection of what you repeatedly do. Look at your calendar, look at your routine, look at where your energy goes. That is where your future is being created. Not in your wishes, not in your intentions, in your actions. A person can have 1,000 dreams, but without action, dreams remain only thoughts. The world does not reward potential. The world rewards developed potential. A diamond is valuable because pressure transformed it. Gold is valuable because it survived the process. Your challenges are not there to destroy your value. They are there to reveal it. But you must be willing to stay in the process. You must be willing to continue when nobody understands. You must be willing to work when nobody applauds. You must be willing to believe before you have proof, because that is where character is created. Character is built in private. Your true self is revealed when there is no audience, when nobody is checking, when nobody is praising, when nobody would know if you gave up. That is the moment that defines you. The person you become in private determines the person you appear to be in public. Many people want to look successful. Few people are willing to become successful. They focus on appearance. But greatness is built through substance. It is built through what happens when nobody sees. The hours you invest, the knowledge you gain, the discipline you develop, the temptations you overcome, the excuses you destroy. Every time you choose the harder right over the easier wrong, you are strengthening yourself. Every time you do what you said you would do, you are building self-respect. And self-respect is the foundation of a powerful life. Because when you respect yourself, you stop negotiating with your weaknesses. You stop allowing temporary emotions to control permanent decisions. You stop saying, I will start tomorrow. You start saying, I begin now. There is power in starting. There is power in deciding. There is power in that moment when you finally say, I am done living beneath my potential. Because every person has a moment where they must choose. Stay the same or transform, remain comfortable or grow, follow the crowd or create your own path. And the path of growth is rarely crowded. Most people choose comfort. Most people choose familiarity. Most people choose what feels safe. That is why those who choose growth become rare. They are willing to do what others refuse to do. They are willing to sacrifice what others protect. They are willing to walk through seasons of uncertainty because they understand something most people never learn. Person you become during the journey is more valuable than the destination itself. And when you begin to build yourself, when you begin to master your mind, when you begin to control your habits, when you begin to raise your standards, something powerful starts happening inside you. You stop searching for someone to complete you, and you start becoming someone you are proud to stand beside every single day. You stop searching for someone to complete you, and you start becoming someone you are proud to stand beside every single day. And that is a powerful moment in a person's life, because the greatest relationship you will ever build is the relationship you have with yourself. If you cannot sit alone with yourself, if you cannot trust yourself, if you cannot believe in yourself, then no amount of outside success will ever truly satisfy you. You can collect achievements. You can collect possessions. You can collect recognition. But if you have not built yourself from the inside, everything outside of you will always feel incomplete. The strongest people are not strong because they never struggle. They are strong because they learned how to face themselves during the struggle. They learned how to look at their weaknesses without running away. They learned how to admit where they were wrong. They learned how to improve without needing someone to force them. That is maturity. That is growth. That is what it means to build yourself. Let me tell you something. There is a version of you that exists right now only as potential. A stronger version, a wiser version, a more disciplined version, a version that wakes up earlier, a version that keeps promises, a version that controls emotions instead of being controlled by emotions, a version that does not need constant approval, a version that walks into difficult situations with confidence because they know they have prepared themselves. But that person does not appear by accident. That person is created day by day, choice by choice, sacrifice by sacrifice. Most people underestimate the power of a single decision. They think one decision cannot change their life. But every transformation begins with a decision. Someone decides to stop making excuses. Someone decides to take their health seriously. Someone decides to learn a new skill. Someone decides to leave behind an environment that is destroying their future. Someone decides that enough is enough, and that decision becomes the first brick in a completely different life. You do not build a great life in one day. You build it one brick at a time. But the problem is that people become impatient with the building process. They want to see the entire building while they are still laying the foundation. They want immediate evidence, immediate results, immediate rewards. But the greatest things in life are usually created slowly. A strong body is built through thousands of workouts. A strong mind is built through thousands of thoughts. A successful career is built through thousands of hours of learning. A great character is built through thousands of small choices. The invisible work always comes before the visible reward. Never forget that. Because when you are in the season where nobody notices your effort, you must remember that roots grow underground. Before trees rise above the ground, your progress does not need an audience. Your commitment does not need applause. Your growth does not need permission. Some of the most important things you will ever do in life will happen quietly. The world may not see you reading that book. The world may not see you practicing that skill. The world may not see you fighting your old habits. The world may not see you choosing discipline over comfort. But you see it. And more importantly, you are becoming it. Every private victory creates public strength. Every battle you win inside yourself prepares you for bigger battles outside yourself. This is why you must stop underestimating small actions. A person who saves a little money every day is building financial discipline. A person who learns something new every day is building knowledge. A person who exercises consistently is building strength. A person who controls their reactions is building emotional power. Small actions repeated over time create extraordinary results. This is the law of accumulation. The person you become tomorrow is being created by what you repeat today. Your future is not created by one giant moment. It is created by your ordinary days. Your average day is where your destiny is hiding. Look at what you do when life feels normal. Look at your routines. Look at your choices when nobody is forcing you. That is where your future is being shaped. Because anyone can work hard for one day. Anyone can feel motivated for 1 week. Anyone can make promises when emotions are high. But who are you when the excitement disappears? Who are you when the results are slow? Who are you when nobody is watching? That is the real test. The world does not need another person who starts. The world needs people who finish. People who continue. People who stay committed after the emotion fades. Because emotions are temporary. Commitment is permanent. A person who depends only on motivation will always struggle. Because motivation is like the weather. Some days it is sunny. Some days it is cloudy. Some days there is a storm. But discipline is like a foundation. It remains. It holds you when everything around you changes. I remember hearing a wise mentor say something that stayed with me. Your future is hidden inside your daily routine. At first, many people do not understand the depth of that statement. But think about it. If someone spends every evening improving themselves, where will they be in 5 years? If someone spends every evening escaping reality, where will they be in 5 years? The difference between two lives is often not one massive decision. It is the collection of small decisions made every single day. The successful person and the unsuccessful person may both have 24 hours. The difference is how they use those hours. One person invests time, another person wastes time. One person develops skills. Another person develops excuses. One person takes responsibility. Another person searches for someone to blame. And slowly, quietly, their paths separate, not overnight, not dramatically. But eventually, the distance becomes impossible to ignore. That is why you must be careful with your choices. Because every choice is taking you somewhere. Every habit has a destination. Every action has a consequence. You cannot repeatedly choose weakness and expect strength. You cannot repeatedly choose distraction and expect focus. You cannot repeatedly choose comfort and expect greatness. Something must be exchanged. Every achievement has a price. The question is whether you are willing to pay it. The person who wants freedom must sacrifice certain comforts. The person who wants mastery must sacrifice certain distractions. The person who wants a better future must sacrifice some pleasures of today. Because discipline is choosing what you want most over what you want now. That one principle can transform your entire life. What do you want most? Do you want a temporary feeling of comfort? Or do you want a lifetime of pride? Do you want to avoid difficulty today? Or do you want to create strength for tomorrow? Do you want to protect your excuses? Or do you want to protect your potential? Because your potential is a responsibility. Inside every person, there are abilities that have never been developed. Ideas that have never been created. Skills that have never been practiced. Dreams that have never been pursued. And the tragedy is not that people fail. The tragedy is that many people never discover what they could have become. They live below their capacity. They accept less because less feels familiar. They stop growing because growth feels uncomfortable. But discomfort is often the doorway to confidence, the doorway to opportunity, the doorway to transformation. A person who avoids discomfort avoids growth. And a person who avoids growth eventually becomes trapped by the life they refuse to change. Think about a prisoner. The strongest prison is not always made of walls. Sometimes the strongest prison is made of beliefs. I cannot. I am not capable. It is too late. I am not good enough. These thoughts become invisible chains. And the first step to freedom is realizing that you have been carrying chains that you have the power to remove. Your past does not have to become your prison. Your mistakes do not have to become your identity. Your failures do not have to become your future. You can learn, you can rebuild, you can become someone new. But transformation requires honesty. You must be honest about where you are. You must be honest about what needs to change. You must be honest about the habits that are stealing your future. Because you cannot improve what you refuse to acknowledge. The person who can look at themselves honestly has already taken the first step toward greatness. They are no longer hiding. They are no longer pretending. They are ready to grow. And growth begins the moment you decide, that your excuses are no longer more important than your dreams. Because there comes a point where you realize the life you want is waiting on the other side of the person you have been afraid to become. And the only question remaining is whether you are willing to walk through that door when nobody is cheering, when nobody is clapping, when nobody understands the journey you have chosen to take. Because there comes a point where you realize the life you want is waiting on the other side of the person you have been afraid to become. And now the choice is yours. Not tomorrow, not someday, not when everything becomes perfect. Today, this moment, this decision, because your future is not created by what you hope for. Your future is created by what you do. The person you become 5 years from now is watching the choices you make today. They are waiting to see if you chose discipline over distraction. They are waiting to see if you chose courage over fear. They are waiting to see if you chose growth over comfort. And the question is, will your future self thank you? Or will they wonder why you knew you were capable of more, but still chose to remain the same? Do not underestimate the power of this day. People think they need a perfect moment to change their life. They wait for Monday. They wait for a new year. They wait for the right opportunity. But the truth is, the most powerful moment you will ever have is the moment you decide. A decision can change a direction. A direction can change a life. A life can change a legacy. Everything begins with a choice, the choice to wake up, the choice to believe, the choice to work, the choice to become. You do not need to see the entire staircase to take the first step. You do not need every answer before you begin. You do not need everyone's approval before you pursue your purpose. You just need the courage to start, because every great person you admire once stood exactly where you are standing. They had doubts, they had fears, they had moments where quitting seemed easier. But they made one decision that separated them from everyone else. They refused to abandon themselves. They refused to betray their potential. They refused to let temporary struggles destroy permanent dreams. And that same power exists inside you. You are not finished. Your story is not over. Your best days are not behind you. There is still more to build, more to learn, more to become. But nobody can do that work for you. You have to choose yourself. You have to invest in yourself. You have to respect yourself enough to become the person you know you are capable of becoming. Because the greatest investment you will ever make is not money. It is the investment you make in your own mind, your character, your discipline, your growth, your future. The world may take away possessions. The world may take away opportunities. The world may take away things you thought you needed. But nobody can take away the person you build yourself into. Nobody can take away your knowledge. Nobody can take away your discipline. Nobody can take away the strength you earned through struggle. Nobody can take away the confidence that comes from knowing you kept your promises to yourself. So stop waiting for someone else to believe in you. Believe first, build first, work first. The world often believes in you after you have already believed in yourself. People notice the results, but they rarely see the sacrifice. They see the success, but they do not see the lonely mornings. They see the achievement, but they do not see the battles you fought when nobody was there. Remember, your private discipline creates your public destiny. The things you do when nobody is watching are creating the life everybody will one day see. So choose your actions carefully. Choose your habits carefully. Choose your thoughts carefully, because every day you are becoming someone. The question is, who are you becoming? Are you becoming the person who gives up when things get difficult? Or are you becoming the person who becomes stronger because things get difficult? Are you becoming the person who explains why they cannot? Or are you becoming the person who finds a way? Are you becoming the person who watches life pass by? Or are you becoming the person who creates a life worth remembering? You have one life, one opportunity, one journey. Do not spend it hiding from the very challenges that were meant to reveal your greatness. Do not let fear make decisions that your dreams should be making. Do not allow temporary comfort to steal permanent possibilities, because one day time will stop asking you what you wanted to do. Time will only show you what you actually did. And when that day comes, let your answer be something you are proud of. Let your answer be that you tried, that you fought, that you learned, that you grew, that you became everything you were capable of becoming. The road will not always be easy. There will be days when you feel tired. There will be moments when progress feels slow. There will be seasons where nobody understands your vision. But keep walking. Keep building. Keep improving. Because every step forward is proof that you are no longer the person you used to be. Every disciplined choice is a message to your future. Every sacrifice is a declaration that your dreams matter. Every time you rise after falling, you are becoming stronger. So from this moment forward, stop asking if you are capable. Start proving it. Stop waiting for confidence. Build it. Stop searching for motivation. Create discipline. Stop looking for the perfect time. Create the time. Your life is not changed by what you intend to do. Your life is changed by what you commit to doing. So commit to your growth. Commit to your purpose. Commit to becoming the person your future requires. Walk when nobody walks with you. Work when nobody applauds you. Believe when nobody sees the vision. Because the person who can build themselves in silence will eventually create a life that speaks for itself. And one day, you will look back at this moment, this exact moment, and you will realize that everything changed when you stopped waiting, when you stopped making excuses, when you stopped searching outside yourself for the answer, and you finally decided to take responsibility for the greatest project you will ever build, yourself. So stand up, take control, make the decision, start today, build yourself, because your future is not waiting for a better version of someone else. Your future is waiting for the stronger version of you.